If you don't know who Nostradamus is, he is the most famous fortune teller of all time. He died on either July 1st or 2nd. Nobody knows. A few of his predictions were the death of Queen Elizabeth all the way up to Adolf Hitler. About 70% of his predictions came true. I chose Nostradamus because I thought he sounded really interesting. Nostradamus was either born on the 14th or 21st of December in 1503 in Saint-Remy de Provence, France, where his claimed birthplace still exists. And his most famous prediction was either the Twin Towers or his own death. In the 1530s, Nostradamus married and started a family. Tragically, they were all taken from him by the plague just a couple of years later. Over the next few years, he traveled throughout Europe, learning a variety of crafts and practices that led him away from medicine and more towards the occult. A decade later, he married a rich widow with whom he had 6 children. Nostradamus wrote down nearly 1,000 predictions in his book, published in 1555, called Les Prophètes, which sounds really hard because I could barely write 3 pages in an essay, and he wrote down 1,000. A few years later, Nostradamus tried again to gain a doctorate in medicine, this time at the University of Montpellier. This venture brought to an abrupt halt after Nostradamus was expelled. Starting in 1555, Nostradamus was published an almanac every year until he died in 1566. Almanacs were very popular at the time, containing annual predictions and astronomical information, which proved very useful for farmers and merchants. I believe that the major events that shaped the world were foretold by the Renaissance apothecary. For example, the rise of the most bloodthirsty political regime in history, headed by Adolf Hitler, as well as the Apollo 11 moon landing and the COVID-19 pandemic. About this event, Nostradamus wrote, "The celestial fire will the lights of Mars go out." At the present, tycoon Elon Musk previously said that his company SpaceX could have a manned spacecraft to the neighboring planet by 2029. However, the French astronomer predicted that this will happen in 2023. Elon Musk is leading the race to colonize Mars, but Nostradamus predicts a setback in this next year. Humans might potentially land on Mars in 2029, according to SpaceX founder Elon Musk. In my opinion, one of the coolest facts about Nostradamus is Nostradamus believed that he could tap into his paranormal physics abilities with the help of boiling water. He used to spend hours at night studying and meditating over a bowl of water mixed with special herbs. The concoction sent Nostradamus into a trance-like state. It was during these moments where the great seer experienced these prophetic abilities. He wrote the stuff in his notebook that he saw. Nostradamus predicted that there would be a World War III. Some have interpreted the line 7 months Great War, people dead through evil, as a possible reference to the escalation of the outgoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The reason Nostradamus' predictions continue to entice fascination is because they are always vague, unspecific, and never include dates. This makes his prophetic incredibility malleable, as they can be applied to several dramatic events throughout the centuries, including the 9/11 attacks. In his words, he wrote, "2 steel birds will fall from the sky on the metropolis. The sky will burn at 45 degrees latitude. Fire approaches the great city. Ultimately, a huge scattered flame leaps up." That is great how that specific and accurate when he was in the 1500s. My favorite fact about Nostradamus is that in World War II, the Nazis used Nostradamus' predictions to try and win the war over the Jews. The theory about 9/11 is that there was maybe already conflict with the Islam at the time, so he thought it would either last a long time or that would happen in a few days. The biggest theory is, did he predict it. And I think he predicted most of it because he predicted his death the day before it happened. How would he know that? I hope you learned something about my Nostradamus presentation today. Why do you think this ancient doctor knew so much? Do you think his predictions were true?